Welcome everybody to our show. This is Custom Fab Garage on our channel Octane TV on YouTube. Make sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button, and on top of that, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can get all the new content that comes out weekly and even every day. The vehicle we're going to be working on today, 2013 Chevy Avalanche. This thing is super clean. It does have the basic normal radio, non-Bose, non-navigation. Standard audio. These are the door panels we're going to be doing today. They're all going to be the same on every vehicle that you do, including the Avalanche, Silverado, Tahoe. They're going to be a little bit different on different vehicles and different things like that, but it's the platform is still going to be the same. So there's some slight differences between the Tahoe, Silverados, things like that, depending on the length of the door in the rear, stuff like that, whether you got extended cab or crew cab, stuff like that. But we want to show you on the rear doors. This is the gist of how they will come off, and we will also show you on the front doors as well. But we want to show you the basic tools you're going to need to get these off and make everything to where you can change out the speakers or take it off if you need to change a motor or anything like that. Here's what we're going to start with first. You're going to want to take your hook tool. You got to keep this up too. It's kind of a pain in the butt. You kind of got to get inside of here and just be careful. You don't want to scratch it, and you want to kind of pull out, which is kind of hard to do when I'm trying to film here. I'll show you. And what you're going to want to do is this little guy right here, when it pulls off, that's what kind of holds in. When it snaps in, it holds into this threaded rod right here. So then you can just pull this bad boy out, because when this piece sticks into this piece here, it holds on to that threaded rod right there. But you need this removed to be able to get the door panel to come off. Next part we're going to do is right there on that little slot down there. You're going to take your hook tool and you're going to get it underneath there and pull that part off. So when you pull this bad boy off right here, see how that looks right there, and then that's what the back side looks like right there. And then behind that, you're going to have a 10mm as well. Down here, you're going to do the same. You kind of slide. It's kind of hard to get in here, but try the easiest way. You can use this and get in here. You got to be careful about scratching, or you can take like a plastic pry tool and try to pry in between here and pry it out. Basically kind of like this, and you want to just, well, not knock it off like I did, but basically that's what you got to do. And that's the back side of that. You don't want to put a whole lot of pressure, just push it, but use a plastic pry tool on this. I would recommend, mainly because you don't want to use a hook tool with the metal. I mean, you can, but it might like mar up the edges and stuff like that on a, you know, this vehicle has really nice panels on it. And then underneath here, you're gonna have a 10mm and a 10mm as well. We are gonna take our drill with our 10mm on it and go ahead and start taking off those two and this one up here. I believe after you get all those out, you can just go ahead and start prying. Now the hard part is this is really difficult to get your hands underneath. I particularly like to use this so I don't scratch anything, but get up underneath and then try to start prying out on the bottom. I always use the bottom first. I typically always use this side first too to pull out, and then start pulling all the snap clips out all the way around the door panel. I will tell you from experience of doing a lot of Silverados in my life, I would say 40 to 60% of what I've done in the past 25 years is Silverados. These not so much, mainly like 99 to 06, mainly the newer ones. But this generation, absolutely hate these door panels for one reason. Trying to pop these things out, the pop pieces that they use, it's almost like you're breaking the door panel to get these off. So I just want to let you know, when you're pulling on this, it's going to feel like you're literally going to break every bone in your body and the door panel to get these off. So just understand that, especially if it's the first time they've ever been off. But That is the only thing I hate about these trucks, is trying to get these damn snap pieces off. So understand it's gonna be hell when you go to pull them off. Once you get everything popped out, you're gonna wanna lift up and then off. And then we will go ahead and we will have to disconnect this cable here and that harness right there. Easiest way is I just push this from the back side and then you can unplug this bad boy right here. The way you get this is you push this gray clip up and then it enables you to be able to push this black piece down right here and then it'll unplug. Just want to let you guys know that. It's like the red ones, you just push the gray part up and it slides down to lock it in. The way that I get this part off right here is if you look inside of this, the way this works, it's kind of hard to see, but what I do is I take needle nose and I clamp these two parts right here and then pull back. Basically those two parts right there are keeping, because they're butterflied out, you push those in right here and then you pull back and it will come right out, and then the ball will come out right here. Just pull the ball up and pull it out. Here's the back side of the door panel so you can kind of see what you're dealing with, all the push pins as well. Luckily we did not have any come out. Usually these will come out and you'll have to get them out of the holes of here, but we got lucky on this one, thank goodness. Here's your rear speaker, which is similar to the front on this particular crew cab model. Being an Avalanche, if this has the standard audio, I am pretty sure, because of all the ones I've done, if you have the Bose, you will typically have a 5 1/4 in the rear, especially on the extended cab as well. So please take note, you will have a 5 1/4 in the rear if there is a different variance. The one we are working on is non-Bose crew cab Avalanche. They will be different, so please don't think that it's always going to be a 6 1/2 with this adapter. This is the most common adapter. They use these in the fronts as well. Some of these will be square with a 5 1/4 that you have to change out, because Bose uses the rear 5 1/4 as the actual subwoofer. So please make sure that you note that. Just because I'm doing this in this video does not mean that that's exactly what yours is going to be like. You could potentially have a 5 1/4, so that is something you want to check out. But the way this comes out is you take the 7mm here, and then it just has a hook and loop down here, and sometimes they'll put, yep, there's foam right here. That foam keeps that hook and loop from being able to push in, come out. So you'll just pull the foam out. You're gonna take the 7mm off. This will kind of come down. You'll fold this in and pop that, and the whole thing comes out as an assembly. And we will replace it with a new adapter and a new speaker. Not just drill this into the metal or drill this in and leave a big gaping hole. We're gonna actually do it correct. Like I was saying, you take the 7mm off, you fold it down, you come back. This piece will be into here. You'll want to pull it out, and then this plug is actually plugged into here. And then you'll want to push in on this top piece, and then this piece will pop out. This is what we're going to use as a speaker harness adapter. We will not cut this, we will not tap this. We will plug our speaker harness into here, so it's 100% OEM. This is your factory, lovely non-Bose 8-ohm 8-ohm speaker, 8-ohm. I have no idea why they used an 8-ohm with this tiny magnet. This thing probably weighs like maybe 6 ounces, maybe 8 ounces. This thing is a paperweight. I mean, I've seen worse, but this by far is probably a 25-cent speaker. So we're gonna replace this whole assembly, and we'll put them side by side so I can kind of show you what they'll look like. These are the speaker adapters that you will want to use, which is an 82 3006 for the fronts and rears on this application. You can also use this SAG MHR634. They're very similar. One's made by SCOSCHE, one is made by METRA. I will put the links down below in the description underneath the video. I will put a link. You can just click on it and buy it right from there. Boom. And then you got the part, and it'll ship to your house. Be there if you got Prime. It'll be there in 1-2 days. So easiest way to find these, cheapest way to find these, best value. So do not do this without these. These are, you know, sometimes 15, 20, 30 bucks a pair. Don't do it without these. For me to make these would take so much time and so much money. So just buy these, make sure you have them before you go to put in the speakers, and then that way you do it 100% correctly. These are the speaker harnesses, the adapters I was telling you about, 72, 45, 68. These are what we're gonna use. These are the METRA. We also have an off-brand, which is an X0031KAC05. This comes with 4. This comes with 2. I will put the link down below in the description underneath the video so that you can just buy these, click on them, boom, they're shipped to your house. I use both brands. SCOSCHE is great, METRA is great. I would not go with anything that is 100% Chinese knockoff, because I have had some of those fail, especially antenna adapters, wiring harnesses. I would go with something that's either METRA, SCOSCHE, or a reputable company. So if the price is, you know, 10% of what the METRA is, you can guarantee it's probably going to fail. So I would not buy it. I would go with reputable companies that, you know, are proven. Look at the reviews. Look at the reviews on Amazon. You will see. But click my hyperlink down in the description below, and that way you can just buy it directly, and that helps out our videos. So that way we can continue to keep making these videos for you. I will say these Rockford Fosgate speakers look really nice. I like their plastic here. They're almost like a butyl rubber on the side. The back side of them, they feel very, very, very solid built between the cast, this rubber material that they're using here. These speakers, I mean, everything about these feels really, really good. I'm gonna honestly say Rockford has stepped up their game. I don't know if they're making these in America again or what, but the build quality, even down into there, they feel really nice, I gotta say. So we'll see how they sound. But the one thing I will tell you about these is they smell like blown speakers. Like, taking them out of the box and you can smell them, it smells like a blown speaker right out of the box. So I'm a little weirded out, but we'll see how they go. I think they even, yeah, look at that, they even have a foam backing on them. That is pretty nice. I gotta say, man, Rockford's, maybe things are changing at Rockford now. So I gotta say, maybe these speakers will blow my mind. We'll see. Thing I can tell you is I'm already starting to not like about these Rockfords is they use totally different than the speaker terminals use. These use a medium on here instead of here, but they use a, you know, small normal speakers, but this is a medium and a large. So these are gonna have to be cut off and changed, just to let you guys know if you use the speaker adapters. So kind of sucks, but I don't know why they didn't just use a large and a small like normal people do. But these companies try to do weird stuff all the times. I don't know. Now I want to let you guys know, even though this one's smaller and it's labeled negative for the black, I went ahead and used the normal size because even the mediums wouldn't fit on it. So it slides right on there and it is super tight. So everything's in here. What you'll want to do is you'll want to take pliers. You're going to take the pliers and snap each one of these inside pieces right here off, because you can do a 5 1/4 or 6 1/2 with these, or 6 inch or 6 3/4, I believe. 6 3/4 might not, but I know for sure 5 1/4, 6 and 6 1/2. So these are made for those. So you can just snap these off. I'll show you. So if you take this, you literally just, I should have put my knee on it. Take that, put leverage on it, boom, just comes right off. There you go. That's all you gotta do. So just take these, take a set of pliers, boom, comes right off. That way it's got the perfect diameter. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is with the METRA ones, you have a big long flat piece that you can put more extra screws in, or a lot of screws in, right? With the SCOSCHE one, if you look at them side by side, it's very thin walled. So when you screw in these 4 screws on the 6 1/2s out here, there is no extra room. I will show you what I mean. There is no extra room besides where these screw holes are to screw in extra screws if you want to make sure, because this adapter is only so strong. So I will say these are good and it will hold in here, but for guys who are pushing a tremendous amount of power through some extreme, you know, mid bass, I would probably recommend going with the METRAs, only because you can screw them down a lot more and they're a little more thick walled than the SCOSCHE ones. But that's the only thing I'm noticing so far. So basically we just snap this piece in. You're going to take this piece right here on the bottom. You're going to kind of set it in there and then bring this up. and then boom, and then put your 7mm in here. I'm going to talk to him about putting some Dynamat around this, which I probably will anyways, just to seal this up, because the only thing that's holding this up against this is a 7mm. So this adapter in theory will try to move or wobble. So I'm going to wrap Dynamat all the way around it to kind of hold it in more secure to this actual panel, because when that mid base starts flowing, it's going to want to rattle or anything like that. All right, I got this mounted in here with the 7mm up here. I also went ahead and put in a self tapper right here for this piece, and I also put in a self tapper over here for this piece. So this is in here pretty solid, like it ain't moving. So we may not even need the Dynamat, but I'll see if he wants to do it. But I just want to make sure that this is not going to move from there. We don't want this to shimmy, rattle, loose, anything. So it looks like it's in there pretty good. We should be all right. Little word to the wise as well. This is something I've learned after, 20 years. Make sure before you put the door panel back on, check and make sure the speaker works, okay? Guys, I've seen this 1,000 times. I've trained. Guys will be like, oh, put the door panel back on and figure out something's not working. The speaker's defective, something's wrong, harness isn't plugged in correctly. Don't always think that you're perfect. Just make sure, take the keys, turn on the radio, make sure it works, make sure it audibly plays, and then put the door panel back on. Don't make the mistake of having to take it all back apart again. I hate do-overs, so just want to give you that word of advice. I don't know if this is an Avalanche thing or whatever, but I just rolled the window down, and this is like from the factory. I don't know if this is like supposed to be missing a piece here, or on the Silverado it goes straight across and then goes up. But isn't that weird? That's from the factory. Like, why would it be like that? I mean, you don't notice it when the window's up and it's tinted, but when you roll the window down, why would it be like that? Where this is all exposed and looks like crap. I mean, look at it from the outside. You don't notice it from the outside because it curves. It's so weird. It comes up here. But when you look at it from the inside, it's like they messed up or something. I don't understand. Like, why would it be like that? It makes no sense to me. And it's like that on the other side. Look. It's like that on the other side too. Weird.